Hello, everyone. Oh, I had bad frog wrong. There we go.
Look.
Hello. Would you look at that? Bad Frog is nice and fancy with his green screen. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Green.
What happened?
I forgot one thing. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. He was so close to being ready. He was so close. So close. What's up, Miss JG? What's up, B? What's up, Isabella? Hello, British chairs. Hello, everyone. Hello. Ayo, you spent all your sparks? Oh my god, thank you. Hello, British chairs. Hello, AZN. Hello, Ayo. Hi, guys. Twister, thank you for the host. Hi, guys. When he comes back, can you make him just a tad bit larger for your OCD? Make him a tad bit larger?
I'm already larger than him. Oh, you meant on the screen. I thought you were talking about reality.
No.
It looks even to me.
You're not even?
Why you slap yourself in the face like that, Miss JG?
Like that? Is that good?
Look who I am right here.
All right. There we go.
Right.
Hello.
There.
We're all perfect, nice and green screen. I got to play with his contrast a little bit because he looks kind of like hologramish. He doesn't look exactly real.
Well, I think I need to run through the setup wizard again because I didn't have all my lights on.
He is a hologram.
I'm not real.
Let's see. MD, Jade Fox, Bad Frog, Green Arrow. Thank you guys for your hosts. Thank you guys. I mean, none of us are real. Hi everyone. Hello. Hi guys. Welcome to Mixcast episode 17. We've got a couple of topics to discuss with you guys. See if you guys have heard of them and see your thoughts on them. Those include Humble Bundle, Microsoft, and the military VR partnership, and the Europe Article 13 that just passed, or that is in discussion. Yep. McFly with the sub when we start. Yo. Thank you, McFly. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yo. Thank you, McFly. As promised on your payday, yo, McFly, thank you so much. Whoa! Double sub? Green Arrow with the sub. Well, that was unexpected. That's a way to start Mixcast. Hello. Hello, all the new subs and all of the current subs. All right. Thank you guys for your subs. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so Humble Bundle, Microsoft, and the military VR partnership, and EU Article 13 that is in discussion right now. We're going to talk about these things, explain them to you, and see what you guys' thoughts are on them. But first off, Bad Frog, how was your day?
It was different. I spent all day trying to make the Mix It Up interactive bot work, and it defies me.
It defies you?
It defies me. So I installed Firebot.
Oh, for like...
Just for interactive.
Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha.
Yes, Miss JG, it obviously knows who I am because it defied me for hours. It defied my intelligence and power.
That's funny. Yeah. So okay. So you got a lot of troubles with Mix It Up. Anything else happen today?
No, that's pretty much what I did all day is fight with Mix It Up on trying to get my interactive to work, and I finally gave up after about 7 hours. And
7 hours? Jeez.
I was determined to make it work.
Well then.
It does not want to work, so I'll put Firebot on there, and I've already got one of my controls working already after 20 minutes. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah. So, Big, How is the new offices?
The new Tiny Build offices, they're nice. We're having a real good time with the new offices. We finally got the last of the big moving stuff in there. We moved a 15-foot conference table into but we're on the second floor, so we had to bring it down from the third floor and move it into our office, and it probably weighs a couple 100 pounds. So
at least,
yeah, it's a solid piece of wood. So with metal legs, so it's a heavy piece of equipment. It was fun. Yeah, I posted a lot on Twitter and Instagram today. How are your shins? Yesterday they were worse. It was only the conference table today. Yesterday we had so much more to move. So, but yeah, I posted a bunch of pictures like the Tiny Build parking sign and us moving the beanbag chair out of the elevator. The two people that were in the elevator are the associate producer here at Tiny Build and the CEO. So, it was a fun time.
So no more rice accidents today?
No more rice accidents today.
Okay,
I managed to eat food and not die. I'm trying to think of what I had for lunch. Oh, we have a grocery store just a few blocks away, so I walked down to the grocery store and picked up some baked chicken thighs and legs, and then mac and cheese and potato wedges, and it was an amazing time. It was so good. So it was a good time. And yeah, let's see.
Is it just me, or is anybody else freezing too?
I don't see any freezing. Is there freezing?
It's been a mixer issue all day today. So.
Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't even know of this. Yeah, I didn't get to watch a lot of streams today because I was busy unpacking a lot of the office. So, you're in Cali. How are you cold? Wait, you're cold? Oh, freezing. I get it. It's cold in Seattle, though. Kind of. It was like 50 degrees today, which actually was a lot warmer than normal. It's almost double what we've had. It got into
the 30s the last 2 days for us in the morning.
It's been like 25 to 30 degrees for the past week, and now it's in the 50s again, so. Sound is a little glitchy off and on.
If it was a little earlier, that's because I had to plug my Ethernet cable in and it switched.
He is freezing for the police because Cali. Why? What did Bad Frog do, military? What did he do? I don't know.
Although I had to get out on my motorcycle Tuesday when it was 42, and that wasn't a lot of fun. But
I thought you weren't riding your motorcycles anymore.
No, I still ride those. I don't drive anymore.
Oh, okay. Apparently you launder money, Bad Frog.
Yeah, I've been known to put some coins in the washer every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Puppers is driving me insane, so I might be throwing the thing a few times here.
Gotcha. Oh, you should be asking Bad Frog what he hasn't done. You tend to launder your money too.
That's a much shorter list. I have to think about that for a couple days.
All right, let's jump into Mixcast topics. Humble Bundle. Why did you put Humble Bundle on the list, Bad Frog?
Because we had kind of touched on it the other day a little bit with whatever topic we were talking about. And I don't know how many people are aware of what kind of deals you can get on Humble Bundle for very little money. It's really amazing. Let me check my email because I just got another one today from Humble Bundle, as a matter of fact.
And I'm actually pulling up.
Bloomy was trying to get me to get Lego something or another. There it is. Lego the Hobbit, because it's free for a limited time while supplies last on Humble Store.
Nice. All right. So let me just read. Is there anyone here who doesn't know what Humble Bundle is? What's up, Diamond Digger? Haven't seen you in a while. Ayo doesn't. Okay. AZN? McFly? Okay, there's a decent amount of people. Humble Bundle. So if you ever do any PC gaming, that's specifically what Humble Bundle is for. Humble Bundle is a distribution platform selling games, ebooks, software, and digital content. Since Humble's founding in 2010, our mission has been to support charity while providing awesome content to our customers at great prices. We started offering only game bundles, but we have branched out to an online storefront, a monthly subscription service, and a monthly initiative, and a lot more. They have so actually this is a pretty cool how it works. Pay what you want. The core of our bundle philosophy is flexible pricing. When you buy a bundle, you choose the price that you want to pay. You can even choose how your money is divided between the creators, charity, Humble Partners, and Humble Bundle. The contribution to charity. Every type of product we sell contributes a portion of proceeds to charity. On many products, you can allocate part or even all of your purchase to a charity of your choice. Play on Steam and more. When you purchase something on Humble Bundle, you'll get a key to redeem on Steam, Uplay, GOG, or another platform. Many of our books and games are also offered DRM free. And they work with a lot of game developers. So this is the 3 different types of products Humble Bundle offers. The Humble Bundle. Limited time collections of games, books, software, and more. You can pay what you want and choose where your money goes. Many bundles come in tiers, and the more you contribute, the more you get. We've sold over 47 million bundles and counting. Humble Monthly. Humble Monthly is a monthly subscription bundle of curated games sent to your inbox every month. Subscribers also get great perks like 10% off of the Humble Store and access to awesome DRM-free games in the Humble Trove. And the last one is Humble Store. The Humble Store is a digital storefront of games featuring thousands of titles from developers and publishers, both large and small. You can choose to give a portion of your purchase to charity, or you can choose to keep the change to apply towards future purchases. So they offer 3 different things that you're able to do through Humble Bundle. It's actually really cool.
And unless they've changed it, the way they set the tiers when you buy the bundle is they take an average of what people have paid for it, and if you pay more than that, you get all of the things on the list. If you pay just that or less, you get like half of the list. But it's crazy how they do it. I mean, you could end up with 15 games sometimes for $12.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
And right now, their store, I'm looking at it right now. They got the free Lego Hobbit for a limited time. Hitman 2 is 30% off. Shadow of War 70% off. Batman 70% off. Mad Max 70% off. I mean, just there's a list of these that are on here that are big chunks of savings. They're PC games, but
yeah. So I'm going through this on the right side of the screen above Bad Frog. You can see Middle Earth Shadow of War. For 70% off, you're getting the game for $18. Grand Theft Auto 5, you're getting for $15. Hitman 2, $42. Fallout 76 for $40. Hitman 2, Gold Edition for $70. So 30% off, 33% off of Fallout. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And they're always adding more stuff constantly. So, and you, like, they also offer just purchasing the game through the store. So, like, Rage 2 is coming out soon. But Rage 2 is going to be $60, and they're selling it for $60. So, they also just act as a storefront for games that you can purchase. So,
the nice thing about it is I've been on their list for I don't know how many years now. I've still got $1.24 credit right now, as a matter of fact.
That's how they get you.
Every once a month or so, they'll send you what they call a Humble Bundle. It'll just be a package of games. You don't have to buy it if you don't want it. Throw the email away if there's nothing there that interests you. Wait for the next one. And then every once in a while, you'll get a bundle of digital books. It's all digital books in the bundle. And that doesn't happen too often, but a couple of times a year anyway.
It's pretty cool. They go through a lot. And yeah. It's interesting how it works because they work directly with developers to do sales through Humble Bundle because Humble has a huge population. So games will put their games on sale through Humble Bundle in hopes that they're going to get extra sales at a reduced cost. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I've always liked it. And the best thing I like about it, even though I don't particularly care for Steam, but it's a nice thing to have, is they give you Steam keys for everything you buy, so you can go get it in Steam, and it stays in your Steam list of games forever at that point. So you don't have to keep track of all these keys from the bundles and codes and all that. It's already sitting there in your Steam list.
Yeah,
So
they do a really good job. They do a really good job. So yeah, very interesting concept on how to sell games. Basically, it works almost in the Costco sense. The reason why Costco can sell things so cheap is because they're selling it in masses, right? So Humble works with developers and says, we can sell a lot more of your game if you're willing to reduce the price a little bit. So it's an interesting take on game sales. So hurts the developer a little bit because they lose some money, but it works. So.
Yeah, but at that point, they probably made a pretty decent profit from the first round anyway.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if that interests any of you guys out there, but the other thing too is like, just check out like what bundles they've got going on. Maybe you might see a game that, let's say you were going to buy a game for $40, right? But then you see it in Humble Bundle for like, let's say you see a Humble Bundle for, let's say $40 and it includes that game and like 6 other games. You could be spending $40 for one game, or you could be spending $40 for that game and 6 more, So it's kind of a great benefit to like go check it out just to see if your game might be on there, and you're getting a huge discount out of it as well. So yeah, we thought we'd share Humble because we talked about it the other day, and we weren't sure who knew anything about it. So because a lot of the fan base here on Mixer is Xbox, right? So you start running into people when you talk about other things that have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah. PC. Psh. Okay. Microsoft and military VR. Let's talk about that. So Bad Frog sent this to me today, and I looked into it a little bit when I had some time. It's actually pretty interesting. Do you want to start off with it?
Well, I can. I'm probably barely know more than you because I was just reading it a couple of times. But Microsoft got a pretty big contract to sell these heavy duty. They call them AR headsets, but they're basically VR, if you want to call it that.
Well, so I can explain the difference between VR and AR. And they are AR. They are not VR.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, so the differences between VR and AR. So you have 3 actually. It's virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Those are the 3 different headsets that you can do. Virtual reality is this Oculus Rift, where you can't see in front of you, right? You only see in the digital space. Augmented reality is where you're putting essentially glasses on, and you still see the world in front of you, but you have digital space appearing in that space.
Yes.
Yeah, virtual and actual reality. Yes.
The thing is it's got to stand up to battle conditions, which is what really interested me in this. Is you could make something that heavy duty like that.
Yeah. So there's a huge potential for augmented reality, which is why you see it pop up a lot more now rather than augmented reality. And yeah, so do you want to jump into what the U.S. Army is doing with that?
Well, the trick to this thing is that this thing has got to be able to have night vision, thermal sensing, be able to measure the soldier's vital signs like breathing and combat readiness, monitor for concussions, and offer hearing protection. Plus, it's got to be sturdy. That's a lot of stuff for a helmet to do right there. I mean, and they're trying to get 100,000 of these things built by Microsoft because Microsoft won the contract for it.
Yeah.
And but I don't know how they're going to be able to do something that's going to be able to do all that. But I guess anything's possible nowadays. But they're really cool looking. I don't know if you can pull up that.
Yeah. So, funny enough, I've actually known a lot about this before I've seen this article. So let's get rid of the pop-up. Augmented, or so the last part of augmented, so augmented versus virtual reality versus mixed reality. The last one was mixed reality, which I didn't explain. Mixed reality is where you're taking these virtual things in your augmented reality. So let's say in augmented reality, you put a car that you can see driving past you, like, right? It's a virtual car. It's not a real car. Drives past you on the road, right? Mixed reality actually puts that car in space and you can move around it and see it and interact with it. So it takes virtual reality and makes it real in the sense that you can interact with it in the virtual space. So it's not there in real life, but your eyes still see it as if it's there and you can interact with that space. So and the major difference with that is augmented reality is mostly for like overlays and seeing windows, like if you pull up a browser, or if you put like a hologram somewhere. That's the difference between reaching augmented reality and mixed reality.
This is part of the HoloLens thing, actually, Escobar. Yeah. This is where they're developing past that.
Yeah. So when I worked for the military, we actually had HoloLens. So I actually had one of these in my office. We had a very, very, very early kit of it. And we did something similar to this. We did training sessions. So I would take I would wear the HoloLens around the office and build a space for them. And that space would be like essentially shooting targets for the soldiers. So they would put on designed armor that I had made for them, and then they would put on the virtual reality headset, or the augmented reality headset, which is the HoloLens, which is what you're seeing here. This is the HoloLens without the green helmet, and it would bring up a target, and they wanted to see how cumbersome the new armor was while seeing these targets. So, and you could do training sessions along with this, because the HoloLens tracks your hand movements. So, like, if you point at something and that point is supposed to cause a reaction, it would actually do it. So, like, if you pointed at something and it was supposed to explode, it would. So, it tracks all of these different movements that you're doing.
I actually have that question that Halo collectors put up there. HUD is basically augmented reality. Is it augmented reality? Say some of the cars that have that display that'll pop up on the inside of the windshield, giving you whatever data they want to give you, speedometer or whatever else. I know that my wife's truck, if you get too close to somebody, a big red light will pop up on the windshield. It's pretty wild.
It's essentially augmented reality, yeah. Okay. But so that's a heads-up display. Heads-up displays, when you put on a headset like that, is an augmented reality session. So yeah. It's pretty
really
neat.
Short it was a really short article. There really isn't a whole lot about it, and Microsoft's not really saying about it. But it really interested me because I knew that Big had done the suits for the Army sometime back as a former job.
Yeah.
So.
It is pretty cool but this is fairly recent. So they won a $480 million contract with the U.S. Army. For those who don't know how the Army works, everything is all contract based. So basically what happens is the Army will say, the military will say, I need this done. Who can do this? And then Microsoft and IBM and Sony and all these big companies, technological companies who are capable of doing this will say, I can do it, and I can do it for this much. And so it's basically who can undercut who, what are you going to do for that amount of money type of thing, and you win the auction by the military basically saying, we like what you're having to offer. We'll agree to your price range, and in return, you're going to give us, everything that you said that you were going to offer. So, but yeah, it's supposed to land 100,000 HoloLenses.
Well, they were supposed to have given them 100,000 HoloLenses, but they've only given them around 50,000. So that's the bottom of the list. So it's kind of creating the incentive to kind of switch the Army to the next generation, I think, is what basically I think they're saying in that last paragraph.
No, this one is saying that to the public, they've only sold 50,000 HoloLenses. Because the HoloLens project you were able to order if you were a developer or if you were a company. So, selling 50,000 HoloLens units. Yeah. But the Army is basically wanting double what they've sent.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So, but 480 million units. So, $480 million divided by 100,000 HoloLenses puts it at a little under $5,000 a HoloLens, which is not anywhere near what you can buy them for. So, there's going to be a lot more that Microsoft is doing.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Government specs, I know a little bit about this because of being former military and my wife is current military. Government spec everything beyond ridiculous. And they expect the world for nothing. So in contracts, they put, and the contractors have been burned by this. They just put endless stuff in these contracts that they want them all to do. And I'm sure you had that experience if you were doing the Army stuff. Well, we want it to be round there instead of triangled, or just something stupid sometimes. So
yeah,
that's why you had $1,000 toilet seats. That was the big complaint back in the 80s and 90s was $1,000 toilet seats. This is why.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Good morning, LOTC. Let's see. Like a heads-up display used by aircraft in bad weather conditions. Is that what they do? I've never looked into aircraft and how things are displayed along the inside of the cockpit. For
a lot of helicopters have a bunch of this tech inside.
Really?
But like the Coast Guard, because they fly in low visibility conditions, they got to have something else to see with. The Apache helicopters, I think, were set up with this. A lot of this stuff. Interesting. So, because the Apaches were running night runs in low airspace, so they had to have some kind of help.
Interesting. Okay. Former flight attendant. Interesting. Okay, British Airs. So yeah, pretty cool project going on. Obviously, like I said, Microsoft has been working with HoloLens for actually a long time now. I have a friend who works on the HoloLens team, and it's neat to see how far they've come with that technology. And previously working with one at the military, and trying a consumer use one as well. It's neat to see how far it's gone and where this is potentially leading to. So, But yeah.
Yeah, I looked for that article today, Halo, because I know what you're talking about. But I could not find it for the life of me. And I bet you if I looked for it now, I'd find it right away. But I was having a bad day with Mix It Up, so I wasn't concentrating.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. So Halo Collector said latest jets have 8 AR headsets in them.
Yep.
Killer Nick, instead of going into channels and just spamming giveaway, you could just say, hello.
Hi, Killer Nick. How's your day, buddy?
People are rude today. I know. All right. So, what happened?
I said I'm the worst one.
Oh, what's up, Green Arrow? Let's talk about EU Article 13. Did you want to jump into this one? Because this is actually a really cool one.
Yeah, basically what this is doing, the EU is the conglomeration of all the European states or countries there, and they have this process where they come up with rules that all of the countries have to live by, and then they have to pass their own version. Well, inside of some of these copyright protection stuff that they've got, it is written in such a manner that it may cause Twitch, Mixer, YouTube to be responsible for if anybody posts copyrighted material. It wouldn't be the person who posted it. It would be the company itself, which means basically you would see Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch disappear from that area because they're just not going to take that chance. It's a big deal.
It's actually super interesting. What's up, Barry? You're dead. How are you? So basically, to take it out of technical terms, copyright is the protection of a company's IP, so their intellectual property. So if you're a company, and let's say I am Halo, right? And I distribute this video game to everyone to play. That's my IP. Halo is the IP.
Intellectual property.
Right. So what's happening is Article 13 says that any company who's using this content in any way that could be in any way possible profiting them, so whether it's streaming on a platform, making a video, in any sense, if there's money being profited by someone who's not the owner of the IP, it has to get shut down. And if you look at streaming in that sense, streaming and videos is all that. I play a video game. I play Halo on my stream. I didn't make Halo, So if there's any sort of money coming to my stream or going to Mixer because someone subscribed to my channel because I play Halo, it's gone. Like, that's profit on something that Mixer did not make, So, and the same thing goes to YouTube and Twitch and all of that stuff. So it's actually, like, it's a pretty serious thing, but that, like, though that detail goes way, way, way deeper into the legality. I'd be surprised if something like this passes, because you almost have to think of it like television. Television, how can that be enforced? What jurisdiction?
So that's easy.
Well, if the law passes, if it's not your product, you can't show it.
It's just like Twitch streamers getting shut down over playing Forza with the music playing. That happened to a lot of Twitch streamers. There's an alternate music you can play to play Forza that has no copyright on it anymore.
Really?
So,
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's an odd deal.
Let's see. Mike, thank you. Appreciated. How do you get the secret code for the giveaway? If you hang out during every Mixcast, we give away the code during the episode at a random time. We do not say when the code is given away. However, we record every episode and upload it to YouTube and Podbean, iTunes, and Acast every day. So if you would like to catch the episode at a later time, you can catch it every day on the next day. And we have a secret code every single day, or every single Mixcast. So you can gain a lot of bonus points by getting those codes every day.
Miss JJ says, isn't there a way around this? If it goes through in Europe, no.
Well,
by the way they have to do it, in 2 years, all the countries have to write a law basically reflecting what the EU body said. But it doesn't affect us anyway, except for the fact that there's a big market that will lose, and you got a bunch of streamers over there that can't stream anymore.
So the streaming services will crash and fail. All of them. They will not survive in Europe. However, if a person wanted to broadcast on their own personal website, they still could, but they would need approval from the developers of each game. Like, that's how strict it would be. You would have to gain approval from the developers of each game that you're playing and basically have it publicly shown that you were permitted access to being able to show their IP on your content. So
it's everybody's gone too far with this copyright protection thing, and this is just the next logical step in the stupidity.
I don't think it'll pass because of how strict something like that is.
I don't think so either, but it was definitely an interesting article when I found it the other day.
Yeah.
So,
hello, Rogue Diamond. Almost everything is copywritten. Practically everything is.
It was never intended to be that way. It was supposed to be after so much time, because the inventor dies, it basically loses the copyright. But they've stuck the copyright inside a corporation, so it never dies.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Disney law, as was put in there. All welcome to Disney. So,
what is your thoughts on the way around it, Miss JG? And yeah, Jade Fox, it is like a very like communism type effect, you know. You are not allowed any freedom in the sense of what you're capable of doing, because, you know, you might accidentally show an Arizona logo while you're trying to take a drink of your drink, you know? Like, it's as silly as that, you know? It's very, it's like crazy to think if something like that were to pass, how strict on society it would be. Because you got to think, television does a really good job of blocking off most logos. Like, you'll see like stickers over the Apple logo, so that way it doesn't show that it's an Apple product or anything like that, right? But I mean, like, cars passing by, if that car has a logo, or if it's like clearly distinctive of that car, or the controller in your hand has to be a non-registered controller. It has to be a bland, you know, shape of a controller. It can't be, you know, an Xbox controller with the logo blocked out, you know. Stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Miss JG says there could be changes in the copyrights on the games themselves. Never going to happen.
Yeah, you would run into... So, that is possible. They could do that. All rights reserve thing could be changed. She's right. It could happen.
But it's not going to happen.
But a company would risk so much loss to their product. It would be unbelievable. Literally, like, someone could take... Like, the developers of Halo could make Halo, and then the next day, the game comes out, and someone takes it, changes the ending, and says, Halo better! and it would be legal, um, it would be like it would be dangerous. It would be dangerous because that's how everyone makes a living off of stuff that they're doing for a company who owns a product. So no matter who you work for, whoever you work for owns a product in a sense. Like even if you work as a plumber, the owner of the plumbing company owns their logo, owns the name of it, anything along that line, and people would be able to claim that that's their product. It would be very dangerous. It would be very dangerous. But Halo wouldn't be open source. Oh, everything is open source if you go hard enough. I can take Halo and recode the ending of it right now if I wanted to. It doesn't stop you. The thing that stops you is the legality of it. Is if Halo knew that I changed the ending of it and then started selling copies of it, they would say, no, you can't do that.
You'd be soon getting a cease and desist order.
But yeah, and that's actually that's actually one of the things that makes it really funny. I'm not gonna jump into it, Bad Frog, don't worry. But Elon Musk had made the BFR, the big rocket that we were talking about a few podcasts ago. That one is actually completely copyright free. And he tore up all of the patents and everything. If you want to make that exact rocket tomorrow, you can. He wants other companies to. So there's the whole difference between what companies want to go out and have people adjust and what companies, have to make their money off of it.
The pure software side of this is Linux. It's all open source, and there's 100,000 different people writing different versions of code for Linux. So you got different versions of it, but it's just all open source. Anybody can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
And it's all community built.
It's it's very interesting to see. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't.
I don't either, but the article was just so interesting when I found it. I had to bring it up. So, and it's coming in the January 2019. So,
that's when the law is gonna try to be passed.
That's when they're gonna bring it up. So,
Halo Collector said software companies will need to do something like Microsoft did with their usage clause. That's true. Microsoft actually, that's a good point. Microsoft put out a clause in their agreement that says, it basically said all content creators have the right of use to be able to use our IP so long as they don't profit from it. And it's actually a pretty cool thing. So you are literally allowed to use Halo pictures, logos, anything along that line, and you're allowed to produce it for the public as long as you don't make money, and as long as it isn't a negative effect among the company. So you can't put the Halo logo and put a Nazi symbol, right? So because that'll degrade the company, and they'll never let that pass, so as long as it's not degrading towards the company and you're not profiting from it, you're actually allowed to use that stuff. And a lot of companies would have to go around that along that route, which would be really, really interesting. What's up, Candy? What's up, Nico? Let's see.
Well, Miss JG here again. So changes in IP in the case where people can use someone's intellectual property for the means on entertainment and making money for entertainment purposes only. I don't think it reads like that. I think you'd have to take the money out of that.
I have to go back and reread that. I was reading Jade Fox's to see if we had answered it. All right, so let me reread that. So, changes in IP in the case where people can use someone's intellectual property for the means on entertainment and making money for entertainment purposes only.
I'm kind of I'm stalled at the making money for entertainment purposes only. I that's where I'm.
So it would be like you essentially like if I was playing Halo and that law were enact, I wouldn't even be able to accept donations. Because that could be seen as a copyright issue at that point. Because I'm playing the content of Halo, and
making money.
I'm receiving money. It's essentially the issue with playing music on your stream, which is what happened to Twitch recently. If you play music on your stream, and or if I play music in my stream and you donate to me, there is a portion of that says he's making money playing music that's not his. You know? Where technically the video game says the same thing too. Like, he's making money while playing Fortnite, which is not his. But that one becomes freedom of use. The company sends out these games and allow streamers to play it, and if they didn't allow it, they could say, you know, this is not your content, you cannot do this on stream. It's very, very interesting.
The thing about streaming is that companies actually want you to stream their games.
Correct. They do.
So they're not going to argue that point.
Jade Fox says copyright law is very tricky. I've taken business law and you can be sued for any tiny thing. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like everything is, it's literally what I said before. I go to drink my Arizona tea, and if like, even if I don't say Arizona at all, but I'm drinking it and someone recognizes this as an Arizona can, that's copyright, you know? If that law were to pass, this isn't, you know, this isn't an illegal thing that I'm doing right now, you know?
Syndicate, that's actually a good point. He said, plus, or what about tournament players in esports? They make money. You would probably see that stop over there if something like this were to happen. Unless it was sponsored by the company and agreed to.
Correct.
To say it was a Halo tournament and Microsoft said, you got our permission.
Correct. The company would have to say, this tournament is allowed to be done, and the competitors are allowed to win money off of it, and the whole process is allowed to profit from it. Esports would be 100% contractual, exactly what Halo Collector just said.
Yep. And you just add more people in the loops and push more money around, and the end person who's playing the game is going to get less. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, but we're talking about something that may or may not happen in Europe. That doesn't affect here in the States. And I happen to know somebody that's doing a lot of sports stuff in high schools right now. So, yeah, it's kind of a scary thought to come over here, but it's not.
That would never pass over here. It would never happen. Nico Gamer, hey Big, how did you put the Spark Gold next to your follow and sub? You have to be a Mixer partner to get that. We have this issue with the schools and movies. Oh, playing movies in classes, Miss JG? I'm sure that's a huge issue.
And it never used to be. We watched all kinds of movies that were not within a couple of years.
PTO sponsored events. Do you mind explaining a little further, Miss JG? Let's see.
I'm not reading a loophole for anything in this thing. Like Big has said, I don't think it's going to pass, just like he doesn't. Not the way it's written, because they're killing
it's
everything.
Too strict. There's not enough freedom for any company. No company would ever sign in on this, because you gotta think about it. As much as it's terrible to say, business owns politics, you know. There's just so much money that goes into politics from businesses, and no company would ever want this, because that means, like, literally there's no available opportunity for a movie to be made where, you know, a Coke can was sitting on a table and they didn't even recognize that it was sitting there when filming, you know, in open public, or you were filming a TV pilot or something, or, like, you know, when shows start up, accidents are made like that. And you're talking about, if something like that were to happen and you had a successful series and, like, an episode from your first year and you're like 5 years down the road, your whole show would be shut down. Like, it's unbelievable the amount of, like, lengths that this would go to. Let's see. Some companies don't want streaming. Some game companies don't want streaming Halo Collector. Let's see. I mean, colleges offer scholarships for esports. They do.
Yeah, that's actually getting to be a lot bigger too.
A lot more common. Did I miss the code? No. I bet there would be a loophole for educational purposes. So if we want to do a kids' night and watch Polar Express, we can't charge the kids a dime from it, even though we're a non-profit without paying a usage fee. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to charge anything because you don't own Polar Express as an IP.
And that's right. I think even if you're talking about educational non-profit, because the non-profit thing is getting to be way overused. Because you got I'm going to drift off a little bit here, but you got nonprofits that are taking in millions and millions and millions of dollars a year for to help whatever group they want to help, and they send out about 3% of that 3 to 5% of that money, and the rest goes to overhead, which is basically paying themselves a salary while living off donations. And so that's where I know what you're talking about with educational, and I think there should be a way around that, but it's just not going to happen.
Hey, Big, how did you get to be a partner? So the link that Bad Frog sent you is how you become a partner. Stream every single day for the next year and be very good at it and be over the age of 18. There's lots of more information on that, but yeah, that's how you can make your way to be a partner. Nintendo has had some issues with videos/streaming. Really? I haven't heard of any of this. I've literally never seen Nintendo say you can't stream a game ever.
I think there was.
Which game?
God.
The only game that I remember was there was a game from PlayStation that you weren't allowed to stream the end of the game. And on top of it, they even encoded the game that if you were streaming the game, like if your HDMI was not going to a TV, it would actually cut the cutscene from the game. It was actually a really neat coding. I had never seen it before. Persona?
Interesting.
Persona streaming restrictions.
I'm going to do this the nicest way I can, Nico. You got to work, and you got to grind, and you got to find your own way to get followers. But asking questions in the middle of somebody else's stream when they're talking about something else is definitely not the way to go about it.
When Persona 5 launched, we put out a set of video/streaming guidelines that we hoped would limit online spoilers. Oh, it's the same thing that PlayStation did. So it's not that they didn't want the game to be streamed. That's not it at all. They didn't want the ending of the game to be streamed because they didn't want the spoilers to go out to prevent people from buying the game. When you sell a campaign-based game only, such as like Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek, 1-player game, 5 missions, go through and play it. Once you beat it, that's basically it. You know, there's no online multiplayer or anything like that. When you do something like that and you have a game that goes out there and the game finishes, if you're streaming it to 100 people, That's 100 people who now saw the ending of it. And if they ever wanted to buy the game, they might not anymore because they've already seen it. So,
I'm of the opinion that's not true in most cases.
A lot of people will still want to play it for themselves, which is someone like me. However, they do have a good point, though. If it's a game that someone's like, oh, do I want to spend the $60 or not? I'm just going to go watch a stream and see how the story continues instead of buying it and playing it for themselves. You know, it's the same thing as movies, right? Why do movie theaters not want why does Hollywood not want their movies streamed? Because if you see it, what stops you or what keeps you going to go watch it in the theater? Nothing. There's no reason. If you've already seen the movie at home, why would you ever go pay money to see it in theater unless you wanted the theatrical experience? So you cut out a lot of your fan base. Yep. So that's the reason why. It has nothing to do with Nintendo not wanting games to be streamed. They still want it to be streamed. They just want it to be streamed under a guideline.
Yeah, that's the biggest one I saw ruined this year was that 2-person one where one person played as one person and the other played as the other. It was the one with the jailbreak.
A Way Out.
A Way Out. That was a brilliant game. I watched it 3 times through. And the first time I didn't know the ending, which shocked me completely.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad I didn't. I'd have been really angry if I knew the ending. But when I watched the next 2 playthroughs, I already knew the whole game, but it was still fun to watch. But
man,
anyway,
we should play that again.
It's a really cool game because it really makes 2 people work together. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah. We should play that again. That was so good.
What's the thing at the bottom of what, MD?
What?
He said,
I think he's saying at the bottom of the screen.
Bottom?
Oh. It's my dinner.
Why should I be at the bottom of the screen, Miss JG? What have I done to you today?
Let's see. McFly says achievements/trophies are my final decision in getting games along with great trailer to convince me to buy it. For me, it's more about the story. I want to know the story and play through it myself, even if I watch someone else play it. So, like, I will buy a game if I want to play it no matter what. Even if I watch another streamer play through the whole thing, I still want to do it myself. Games that I watch all the way through that could potentially ruin me from purchasing it are games that I wouldn't purchase anyway, such as Fallout. That's a story-based game and progression. Prior to this one, there was no multiplayer. I've watched streams of Fallout games. That technically would have stopped me from buying it, but I was never going to buy Fallout anyway. There was nothing that would have ever sold me on buying Fallout. But
Fallout 4 kind of ruined me of ever buying Fallout again, so I don't mind watching it.
Yeah. So there's a lot in that. So, but yeah, that was a good topic of discussion. What if Elon Musk was in the Fallout game? That would be weird. But that one was based in Massachusetts.
Does it matter what state it was based in?
I think Miss JG just might have
she
might have a preference towards Massachusetts.
Come on, spit it out.
She's
Use
in
your
Boston.
words.
She's in Boston. We're right outside of Boston. Hi, Killer Beauty. So yeah,
use her words.
Let's do code of the day. If you guys are interested in having extra bonus points on winning $50 for Xbox, it's a $50 digital Xbox card. If you live anywhere except for the United States, you would have to claim the prize as PayPal, because we can't buy you cards for outside of the country. But if you win it, you won $50. If you want a chance to win that, type !Mixcast in the chat and you'll get provided a link You'll click that link. You'll follow the social media guides to get you some extra points. And the code of today to get you a little bit of extra bonus points is Streamer Loot. You know, that thing I always get in games that I play constantly.
I think you have a cheat code. I honestly do. I think you got a cheat code.
Streamer Loot is without any spaces in it. And if you're listening on mobile, you can go to player.gg/BigHungry2X/Mixcast Player also doesn't have an E in it, so it's playrgg or .gg/BigHungry2X/Mixcast yeah, type in Streamer Loot as your code. Capitalization does not matter. Get yourself a couple extra bonus points. Win a $50 Xbox gift card. There are codes every single Mixcast. If you miss an episode, go back, listen to it. Let us know how you felt about the episode. And yeah. Also, don't forget to join the Discord to let us know what you want to hear us talk about in the future.
Please give us some topics. After last night, we went through 5 of my topics on the list. I need help.
Yeah.
Please. I need help. Post some topics in there.
Yeah. There are a bunch of Mixcasts left in the month. We have 10 in the next 2 weeks. We have one more tomorrow, and we have one on the 31st. So we've got 12 Mixcasts left. So that's 12 more codes to get you guys bonus points. If you show up every day, you got 12 more codes to get yourself bonus points into winning a $50 Xbox gift card. So please,
One shot.
Keep showing up, keep supporting, help us out, and maybe we'll be able to help you out. Yeah. Is an angel. Stat Booster, you're an angel? Oh. Let's see. And there was a whole blow up about Twitch streamers on Twitter today. I want to hear about that. Maybe tell us in Discord and we can talk about that tomorrow? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm also streaming right after this, so maybe you can just inform me about that after that.
Just please put that in Discord. Please. Because that sounds very interesting to me.
Exclamation point Mixcast needs fixing.
That's a lot of work.
Oh, the text needs to be changed. Yeah, I got you, McFly. Yeah, we can change that.
Why you make me work, Miss JG? Why?
Let's see. But yeah, thank you guys for showing up for episode 17 of Mixcast. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. The link is in the chat right here. Let us know topics that you want to hear about. By posting.
It does not have to be game related.
It doesn't. You can talk about anything you want.
It will not be political.
Cars, phones, your computer.
Please, no Elon Musk links.
Talk about Elon Musk. It doesn't matter. You want Miss JG? You know some new cameras? Let's talk about them. What other podcasts do you listen to? Let's talk about other podcasts. I don't care. It's a podcast. Talk about podcasts.
And just a small little commercial here. If you're a streamer that don't want to get a green screen, I don't have one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just so you know.
Bad Frog doesn't have a green screen, and look at him. He's all nice and fancy now.
So,
Foon or Spork?
Foon or Spork?
Because it's like fork spoon or spoon fork?
Because it is more of a fork spoon than a spoon fork.
Really? I think it's more of a spoon fork.
Well, the fork comes first. It's at the leading edge. It's got the tongs out there. See, it's a fork.
I mean, it's on the leading edge when you're going to stab it into something, but I feel like it's on the leading edge when you're holding it.
Sounds better than foon. Yeah, my wife doesn't like foon, obviously.
It has more relation to a spoon, yeah, because of the shape. Yeah.
But it's a fork. Miss JG, she doesn't need help. It's a fork. I mean, you can poke with it. Not really.
Did she say you can't poke with a spork?
Yes, that's what she said. She needs to go back to where she was hiding at. She doesn't need your help, Miss JG. I promise you. I have the bruises to prove it.
Whoa!
I need to pinch your nipple.
I'm glad that didn't make it to the microphone.
Let's see. Okay. But yeah.
Stat. It's a fork. I'm a frog. See?
What?
Whoa.
All right. Yeah, you guys were awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for Mixcast episode 17. Join us for episode 18 tomorrow. Episode 18 tomorrow. We'll talk about foons and sporks tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about foons and sporks and why hot dogs are good for you or something. Who knows?
Good hot dogs for you. You got it. You already know tomorrow's topics, so you can show up or not if you want to, I guess. Also, Mr. G wants to talk about old movies, so.
Hey, that's a good idea. I like that.
Bad Frog likes that. He's an old guy. He watches old movies.
Hey.
All right.
I'm not here to be. Well, wait a minute. I am here to be that guy. Never mind.
You guys are amazing. If you guys want to hang out, I'm going to be streaming after this. Just stick around for a minute or two, and the stream will be back up and running, and we're going to play some video games. Thank you guys so much for Mixcast 17. We'll see you tomorrow for Mixcast 18. Thanks so much, guys. Bye,
guys.